I got my glasses on for this special edition of the Anthony Sain Show, where we talk about a very mature matter today, and that is the Josh Giddey nasty ass situation that's going on in Oklahoma City. I woke up the day, was it Good Friday? I woke up. Yeah, I woke up Good Friday and I saw people getting their jokes off about, people can't be serious about shit, especially if you go when it gets in the black Twitter. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wake up, I'm seeing Melvin Purdy getting jokes off. I'm seeing all these people getting these jokes off about
Funniest
Josh
dude
Giddey
on Twitter, man.
Yeah, Purdy funny as shit. I gotta get him on as a guest too. But all those things are happening. It's like, okay, what did he do? I mean, I'm seeing jokes about girls and kids and R. Kelly. Like, all right, man, stop. Like, what did he do for real? So I look it up. Can't find nothing. Like, I literally can't find anything from Woj, Shams, nobody. You know what I mean? Nobody talking about.
You mean it wasn't breaking news?
I'm like, okay, bro. Like, I see people joking about this on Twitter, but like, why is nobody talking about this, right?
Yeah.
So I look up and I find out that, he's allegedly been messing with some underage girl. So I see there's like pics and video.
Yeah.
And I remember the feeling I had at 3 o'clock in the morning when Demetrius Jamel Morant, the gun video, was blowing up in my DM, right? So I remember that feeling. I'm like, all right, I'm going to wake up to some fireworks, right? It's still a little early.
Yeah.
Here come the fireworks. Fireworks never came, man.
Never.
They didn't come Friday. They didn't come Saturday. I think they may have came Monday or Sunday night or something like that.
Define fireworks.
Yeah, exactly, because it still ain't just went crazy. Not a lot to talk about it at all, because everybody now is talking about everybody getting sued, is what the talk is now. But let me put this out here first. Let me put this out as a general disclaimer about anything I'm about to say. I mentioned John Moran a few minutes ago. I'm going to minimize that, Kenny Summerfield. I'm going to keep those to a minimum, because I don't want this to come off as a angry Grizzlies fan reply. I don't want this to come off as somebody who feels a way about how the John Moran situation was handled. And most importantly, I also don't want this. John Morant ain't never did this, so I don't want to put his name next to this. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. These things aren't comparable.
Yeah, and I'm perfectly fine with just dealing with Josh Giddey in this situation and not involving anybody else.
1,000%.
This on its own can stand.
Yes.
I don't need to compare this to anything to prop this up. Very nasty situation. And when I first saw this, Kenny, you were one of the first people I thought about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. Me and you both worked with youth, with the inner city youth, right? And a lot of times in those situations, we were working with kids, hands-on, going to their schools to visit them,
right?
Staying with them after school, picking up kids, taking them to Grizzly games, taking them out to eat, taking them on field trips, taking them on college tours, all these different things we were doing for these kids, right? And one of the things we had to always keep in mind is to understand the power we have in these kids' lives.
Yep.
And number two, understand that those girls sometimes can look at us in a way that we don't want them to look at us, right?
Right.
So you always have to be mindful that me and you've told stories about girls that had crushes on us, right? Like those kind of things come with the territory. Mm-hmm. But because of the power we had, not only were we men, but we were men who had power in their lives, right? Mm-hmm. We didn't make much money doing those things back then, right?
Nope.
So imagine the power that a guy like Josh Giddey, who's a 21-year-old right now, millionaire in the NBA, could have over any high school girl, right? Mm-hmm. If guys like us had to be mindful of, hey, man, watch the power.
Yep.
Watch the influence, you know what I mean? If we had to constantly remind ourselves of that, imagine what the power that a guy like Josh Giddey has, right? Mm-hmm. So that's one point, because people are throwing out this legal thing, right? We're going to talk about the legal thing in a minute. There's this guy on Twitter whose Twitter account doesn't exist anymore. I don't know if people reported him so much that Twitter instantly flagged him and got him up out of there, or he took his own page down. But there was this guy who was arguing with me about this whole thing on Twitter. He was like, man, I went to law school. You guys are speaking from a position of novice, and you don't get it, and you're supposed to be a reporter. First of all, I'm not a reporter. He's like, you're supposed to be a reporter, a journalist. I'm not a journalist. So
that guy was trying so hard to be so smart.
Yeah. He was like, she's 16. If she's 16, that's legal in the state of Oklahoma. I'm like, fam, two things. How you know where this happened? You know what I mean? Just because he plays for the Thunder don't mean this happened in Oklahoma City. And number two, why are we focusing on the legal part of it, man? Yep. Like that's that if he was some 18-year-old kid that works at the Circle K dating a 16-year-old girl, hey, I see it all the time, bro. See it all the damn time. But at the time, we're talking about a guy who was a 19, getting ready to turn 20-year-old NBA player, multi-million-dollar guy, right? Why are you messing with a 15, 16-year-old now who probably was 14, 15 at the time they're saying this video was taken? Because they're saying the video was taken a year ago, last summer, right?
Yep.
Josh Giddey's 21, just turned 21. So at the time of that video, the summer of 2022, he was 19, about to turn $20 million in his pocket, right? I won't stay on this too long. I'm ready to bring Parrish on, but I'm not going to talk about Ja Morant suspensions or things like that. And he got suspended for this, and this person got. I'm tired of all of that. Honestly, I'm tired of all those discussions about that type of stuff. But I will say that the way that this is being covered is a slap in the face to a lot of people.
Yep.
But I'm not surprised.
No.
Because in this country, man, young girls are over-sexualized. The look of youth or being underage is over-sexualized. I can think of two examples right now in the Twitter sphere, in the not so distant, not so far geographically Twitter sphere, where I've seen grown-ass men be on some nasty shit with girls who were either barely of age or underage, or looked like, or had the appearance of being underage.
Right.
And I've seen nasty shit, man.
Yep.
I've seen that from national media members. I've seen like just weird energy when it comes down to girls who are underage or give the obvious appearance of being underage.
Right.
I remember watching a Brooke Shields documentary, the preview for a trailer for it, right? And Brooke Shields was reminding people, you know, y'all were talking about I was like the ideal beauty and I was a model and all those things. She's like, I was like 13 years old.
Yeah.
I was a little girl. And there were people talking about how gorgeous I was. People were talking about how beautiful I was when I was a kid. I was a child, Kenny, 12, 13 years old. You know what I mean? And I had a conversation with somebody, and they were talking about the two girls that are singers. One of them played The Little Mermaid, the Haley and
Belle.
those girls, right?
Yeah.
Somebody was like, how do people say those girls are? I hear dudes talking about how fine they are. Those girls are like 24, 25 years old. Like, they too young. Like, why are people talking? Like, I was like, man, do you know how old Beyonce was when people were talking about how fine Beyonce was? She was like 18. She was like 19 years old. Go Google when her and Jay-Z got together. Like, go Aaron Hall, man. You know Aaron Hall, the dude who sung I Miss You?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He did an interview. He was talking about how he got with Gloria Velez, who was his baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
She was 16. Aaron Hall probably was 30.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout time, these young women have been identified and used, and he basically described raping her, is what he talked about in his interview. He said, I saw her, I grabbed her by the arm, took her up to my room, and it wasn't nothing to talk about. And he said that she was a pup at the time. I didn't know she was a pup, but this is his baby mama, right? Young girls have been taken advantage all through time, man. Like, throughout the beginning of time, young girls have been taken advantage of. And they've been over-sexualized, over-sensualized. And this Josh Giddey thing, you see Andrew Bogut comes out in the podcast, his own podcast. He's like, yeah, man, she's underage, but yeah, like, you know, Josh says that he didn't know. In Oklahoma City Thunder, they've known about this for a while. You know what I mean? This situation was out there. And Josh, you know, he didn't know, man. So, you know, it is what it is. No, man. Because you're a sick dude, man, because you can look at that girl and tell she's a baby, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at yourself and realize you can get any woman you want. Ask James Harden. You know what I mean? You could go out there and literally buy any woman you want. You ain't have to be at whatever club. Anybody can look at that girl and tell it's a child.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be something sick in you that has that thing for younger looking girls. And I'm not saying younger like in their 20s. There's something about you like that adolescent looking girl. You talk to people who could tell you military stories about Vietnam and Korean War and all those type of things, about some of the girls that dudes knew they were sleeping with a child. You know what I mean? Like, they knew that this was a baby, and they were attracted to these women who looked like, you know, pubescent boys damn near. You know what I mean? So We just live in sick times, man. And like I said, I've got I'm gonna play a little crystal ball and look into the future a little bit. From the energy that the Oklahoma City team has, and that the energy that the NBA has in response to their energy, I kind of see how this is about to go.
Oh, yeah.
I see this as a situation where Josh Giddey is not going to be suspended by the NBA. And I think there's a couple of things that they're going to, because first of all, in the investigation, it really shouldn't last that long. Hey, how old are you? I'm 15. Oh, shit. That means that a year ago you were 14, right? Yeah.
Investigation over.
Oh, okay, investigation over.
Yep.
I hope this isn't the case, Kenneth Stubblefield, but I can very well see this situation because when they interview this girl, there's a lot of gray area that they can't touch. If they ask that girl, has she had sex with Josh Giddey, her answer could very well be no. And the investigation ends. You know what I mean? Like, that could happen. She could say, no, I didn't sleep with him.
Yep.
Well, what were y'all doing? Oh, we were just trolling. We just did that to mess with somebody. He's friends with my brother. So, and I think I may have read this, I may have saw the video wrong, but I thought I heard him say something. I thought I heard him say some dude's name. Like, hey, I'm here with my girl. Like, it could have been just him. Oh, we just did that to mess with my boyfriend. He knows my boyfriend or whatever. Like, this feels like the Thunder already have this figured out. Like, this is going to be, it feels like this dude's about to get off on this, man.
Yep.
It feels like he's about to get away from this scotch-free. And he's out there playing games like ain't nothing happened. There's social media dudes talking about see you in 15 instead of saying halftime, which would have been fine. Last time I checked, I thought halftime was 20 minutes. So why are we talking about see you in 15?
Man.
They're playing that type of game, and this dude looks like he's about to get away with this. Like, I can tell you now this is about to get ugly. This looks like he's about to get out on some formality. And here's the thing, and I'll say this. This isn't a legal thing. To me, this is a optics thing. Shout out to Doc Holliday. I said in most things, I don't say shit until Doc started talking. Because the brother known to be wise as hell. But like I said, it's an optics thing. If you're suspending guys for conduct detrimental to the league, the optics of a 21-year-old millionaire being shown topless within a screenshot that says, I just elfed Josh Giddey is a horrible look for the league. Especially when the league supports so many things like mentoring.
Yep.
Tickets for kids programs, NBA junior leagues, and like, you know, all these different things with the NBA. Your All-Star weekend is catered towards teenagers and kids and all these type of things. If you got a dude who's out there doing this type of stuff, that's a horrible look for the league. But this feels like this is about to get ugly. Like, people have been legit angry about the Miles Bridges stuff, angry about the kid for the Spurs who Josh Primo, these type of things. If this dude gets off, like it feels like he's about to get off, this shit is horrible. It's a horrible look for the league, man. And I think that what's happened is this isn't a woe is Adam Silver, poor Adam Silver thing. But I think that when he made certain decisions, like about John Morant, these type of guys, I think he thought they were scare dudes. And I also think he didn't know or didn't see the other shit that was coming down the pike from some of these dudes, man.
Yep.
And this is a nasty story, bro. This is a nasty story.
I got 2 points I want to mention real quick before we get out of here. I know you want to bring Parrish in.
Yep.
And this is purely conjecture on my part. There's been no reporting on this, but how crazy would it be?
This is on the police investigation as well.
It is. They just announced it today. But how crazy would it be if he met that girl through one of those mentoring / OKC like events that they do with young kids?
Yeah.
Like that what if? Like that would be wild.
That's something that the league does all the time, man. The NBA is known for, we talk about it all the time, especially when we talk about like U of M basketball, U of M football, you reach into the next generation. So you do these things to get teenagers, high school kids involved in your thing, social media, all those type of things to try to get that next generation. You can't have one of your a guy that you've propped up. Like I talk about media plants. This dude is a media plant.
Yep.
Josh Giddey is one of those dudes that have forced in front of us, man.
Yep.
NBA All-Star Weekend, he's mic'd up doing, the rookie sophomore stuff. You know what I mean? All these different things. Josh Giddey, they've kind of put him out in that media plant thing like I told you about. And for him to go out there and do what he's doing, man, and like I heard what's out there, man, but no comment. Nah, man, this is about to look bad. This is about to look bad because it feels real get offish, man. It feels real. He's about to find a loophole to get out of this.
And the second part about it, the second point that I wanted to make is, as I started to see some of the interactions that you were having, that other people that were as disgusted as you were when the story started coming out, the defenses that I saw, the people that were running to defend this story, it reminded me a lot of a story that happened over the summer. Yep. And that's the Sean Toohey and the Toohey family and Michael Orr. Because that was the defense that a lot of people gave. Your whole commentary that you were giving during that whole time period was, I don't care about the legal side of things. The moral, ethical,
this is morally messed up.
Mm-hmm. That's where, that's what it's just so weird to me when you run to defend somebody and the only defense you have is legally he did nothing wrong.
Right.
Like, that is just such a weird defense.
Yeah, it just shows you how nasty this country is, man.
Yeah, bro. Like,
how nasty this country is.
And why doesn't everybody get that same level of defense?
Yeah.
Legally, what he did, and I'm not trying to bring Ja into this situation either, but legally, why wasn't he given that same type of leeway?
Right.
Legally, he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
But everybody throw the book at him.
Because that's another reason, another thing with that, man, is that Ja Morant looks like the image of fear that this country is created.
You said it, man.
And Josh Giddey doesn't.
Giddey doesn't.
You can make that a racial thing if you want, but Josh Giddey does not look like the face of fear.
That's it.
I do the whole media plant joking around thing, but like, you look at a Tyrese Halliburton. He's a black man that probably will be given the same type of grace that Josh Giddey was given because he doesn't look like the image of fear. Ja Morant does. Mm-hmm. He's darker skinned. He's a little bit more boisterous. He's got dreads. He does the rappity rap stuff. Shout out to him at the Rod Wave concert, which also became news in the middle of this Josh Giddey shit.
Crazy.
Oh, man. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. But I hope that there's not many things that I pray about, man, but I pray that the truth comes out in this, and this is dealt with appropriately, man. And in times like this, like I said, the nasties come out. The people who probably had a similar life to this, probably did similar things to what Josh Giddey has done. It's a common thing, man. There are young girls being groomed all the time. There are dudes who...
That's the perfect word for it, Anthony.
Yeah. It's dudes who have been grooming girls all like this. This happens all the time, man.
All the time.
There are dudes who they make friends with these girls that are underage. I remember a girl when I was in high school. She got married. The day she turned 18, she got married. Yep. And her boyfriend was some dude that had already graduated. I remember this, bro. Yep. It happens all the time. These guys make friends with these young girls, don't really touch them too much, don't really do too much to them, but they marry them early when they're young like this, and then you look at them, they're functioning adults, but you didn't realize that 3 to 4 year age difference where the husband's 45 and the wife's 41, you don't realize that they were 18 and 14. Like, you don't realize that part. You know what I mean? A lot of people who are speaking out, that's their situation, man. You see it all the time. So